Okay.
Should I go?
Yeah.
You should put that in the video.
Yeah.
Hey guys, so this is the first property I bought when I was 19 years old. This is a duplex in Clearwater. This is awesome. It brings back a lot of great memories. I used to come here on the weekends, and my mom would come. She would help me paint the walls, and I tiled the floors, put in new windows, a new roof. I've had this for 15 years almost now. So it's very kind of nostalgic. But today, what are we doing today? Today, we're actually doing the final inspection. So to sell the property, because 2020 is coming, and it's now time for new levels, you know? So I'm gonna sell it. I'm gonna make about 100,000 on this. That doesn't count all the money I've made from renting and everything else. So, you know, I wanna do more deals like the Safety Harbor project, where I'm doing those big complexes, and I gotta sell the small stuff to get to the big stuff. Why don't we come check out the property and just see what I fell in love with the place. Come on. So why I like the place, the parking is separate for each tenant. It goes 2 bedrooms, living room, kitchen, living room, kitchen, 2 bedrooms. So when people are sleeping, it's separate, they're not gonna be bothered. Plus the backyards are very large and they each get their own private backyard. That really gives a great feel for a family. Now, the cost when I bought it was $500 to $600 a month for the rent. So I'm thinking, an apartment complex for a 2-bedroom, 1-bath charges probably like $800, and they don't have a backyard. So the person that with pets or kids is gonna wanna end up paying more money for this property, probably closer to like $900 or $1,000 eventually when I upgrade it properly because of the backyard. And I was correct. I eventually did it, grew the rents, and brought it up. And another thing I always do is I always make sure the rent is slightly below market, because I'd rather keep people in without moving out, reduce my vacancy ratio, and bring in more consistent income. So it's not worth it charging 50 bucks more and then losing a tenant every year. You're gonna end up costing you more than 50 bucks anyway. So between the rent lost and repainting the place and going through all that work again. So you gotta calculate that. Don't just get caught up with I want a huge number. Also come up with, I want consistency. Because especially when you start moving into like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 units, you don't wanna be stuck remodeling your units all the time when you should be out looking for another deal and another profitable deal, because that happens sometimes. You're busy remodeling these properties and you're like, man, I got too many empty, I can't go buy another amazing deal that just came up. So be prepared, always be prepared. I'm giving you the good side of things, and then we're gonna go to all the troubles I went through. So the good thing was, eventually when I first bought it, it was about 500, 600 bucks a month in rent. Now it's almost $1,000 a month in rent. So you can see the growth is a lot over the time period. And that's a good thing that you could bet on it. And rentals, prices keep going up in rent, so you know the property value is gonna keep going up. Now, when I first bought it, I went and I tiled it. I painted the outside and I painted the inside. And that's really what helped add a good amount of value. You know, I increased the rent probably a few $100 that way. As time went on, septic system went bad. That cost me about $4,000 to change. And then the city changed to sewer system, so then I had to pay money again to switch over to the sewer, but it was at a discounted rate. It only cost me $2,000, where normally it would cost like $6,000 to $8,000 to switch over to the sewer system. So I was actually happy we switched over. Then, in Florida, there's sinkholes. I got a mini sinkhole here. And good thing I had insurance. It's really hard to get insurance for that now, but I got insurance for it, and they covered the underground work. It wasn't too bad, it was like 20 grand. And then at that point, I went and I changed the roof, put in 3-dimensional architectural shingles with peel and stick underlayment, so it's about 25 to 30 year life. And if all the shingles get ripped off, there's still a second layer of roofing underneath. It's called peel and stick. Then I put in double glazed insulated glass vinyl windows for energy efficiency, upgraded all the AC units to be more energy efficient, ream systems, concrete block buildings, so it was a solid build. I really like concrete block buildings, and I actually really like the older buildings more than the newer ones because they're built so well and so strong, and it's hard to get that same value nowadays. The backyard is huge, so you guys should come check out the backyard. It's a really huge selling point for kids and for people who have pets. It's a great area, and we're 3 houses from downtown Dunedin, which is a hot market. Like it's on fire, and I own a lot of properties down there, and they're doing really well. So come on back, we'll check out the back. So this is like a great backyard. This is just it's so nice. It's hard to explain because just imagine 15 years ago, you were doing this, you were painting it, you were fixing it. We had the septic tank was right here, and they would, oh my God, disgusting story. So fast forward 30 seconds if you don't want to hear it. They would flush tampons and condoms and baby wipes, and they would dump grease down the line. You're not allowed to do that if you have a septic tank. So the grease would get this thick and so hard, it's like as hard as concrete. So we had to break it with the stick to break it up enough to get it sucked out. And then all the condoms and stuff like that, the septic tank companies won't suck them out. So you actually have to fish it out with the net, and it's disgusting, right? But that's what you have to do to fix it, because otherwise this system is like $4,000 to $6,000. So you have to fix it. You don't want to spend $4,000 to $6,000, so you're like, all right, I'm gonna stomach it, and I'm gonna have to do what I have to do. So real estate's not that hard, but you have to be willing to do the things other people aren't willing to. And sometimes it's disgusting stuff. So, I mean, once I had a really bad tenant, you might want to fast forward another 30 seconds if you don't want to hear this. I had another bad tenant, so disgusting. So many cockroaches inside, fleas inside, fleas outside. They didn't take care of their pets or anything. I felt bad for their pets. So I had to spray the inside, spray the outside, bomb the inside. I mean, multiple times just to get rid of all of their bugs. It was sick. That was like 10 years ago. So you learn to vet your tenants as well. But, you know, despite all that, the hard times is what make you enjoy the good times so much. So it's kind of, it's really cool. It's really cool seeing it to get to the stage. So what we're doing now is there's a couple of items on the inspection list, like upgrading there's some fixes on the electrical, nothing major, some fixes on the plumbing, nothing major again. All the major stuff we already took care of, and we're just like adjusting all of the minor stuff to make it look good on the inspection so we can sell the property and get that check. You know, 6-figure checks are really nice. So at 19, I finally bought this place after 5 years of working to try to buy my first property. And once I bought this place, I was bitten by the bug. I was like, oh my God, I actually accomplished my goals. I want to do more of this. And obviously along the way, problem after problem pops up, and you have to be able to overcome these problems and find out solutions. And sometimes I get really discouraged, but I'm like, man, I have such big aspirations. I really want to get to these big deals. I know if I could do this, I can do these like big projects. And it came to the conclusion where like I was coming through these problems and it was sometimes getting a little overwhelmed. I'm like, listen, you have to figure out how to handle this. And when it comes through, you got to be like cool. You got to be chill about it, because this is nothing compared to the drama that you're going to get. You have to be willing to like weather the storm of all the problems that come up in a project, in landlord ownership. You got to learn how to handle that pressure, because the second you can stomach that level of pressure and you're cool about it, it goes so much easier. And once you're able to build that pressure, you're able to be strong enough to get to the next level and handle that pressure, and then get to the next level and handle that pressure. And now I'm buying $1 million complexes, and I'm doing 16-unit remodels from A to Z, like full remodel day one, not like slowly do it. Because back in the day, I used to do it slowly because I couldn't afford it, and it was a lot too overwhelming to think about doing such a large remodel. Now I'm remodeling 16 units from A to Z from the beginning and getting no rent for 6 months straight. I mean, it cost me on this new project, cost me $9,000 a month in carrying costs. That means I spend $9,000 a month, taxes, insurance, mortgage, and not even paying anybody to do the work. I have to pay them on top of that. I'm about $500,000 in on this project, and I had no income coming yet. So when you were able to finally build up that pressure and be able to deal with it, who are going to be strong enough to get to the next level. And now I'm doing $1 million deals. So it's awesome to feel that, you know, the baby steps that it takes to get to the level you want to get to. It's just really a cool feeling, and it's really like motivating to know, you know what? Now I'm doing $1 million deals. In a few years, I'm going to be doing $10 million deals. In a few years after that, I'm going to do $100 million a year deals. So I'm very confident because I'm like, man, I did this 16 unit and it really wasn't that difficult. Man, I want to go for a 50 unit. I want to do a 100 unit. And I'm putting in the steps to get to that level. So keep watching, follow me. Earlier today, I posted about how I'm working out with Tony Conyers. He's world champion powerlifter. He's 61, does crazy weight still. And by being with someone like that, by following someone like that, you're gonna become like that person. So keep following, keep watching the videos, study them, and you guys can follow in my footsteps so you guys can be successful as well. Do the work and you'll make it. See you guys later.